In lesson 66, part 9, we're looking at checkpoints to be made at the top of the backswing. Now you know that I do my level best not to use the word position when teaching the golf swing. I've always tried to convey it to you as movements. There wasn't a position until somebody photographed a movement. But that doesn't mean we can't check the effect of our good movement. So in the last two sections we've talked in length about the left shoulder giving birth to 15 good things. So let's just do a couple of checkpoints at the top of the backswing. I go through the pre-shot routine and I load my left shoulder to my throat. So the first skill is better to do that without bouncing, because if you bounce, the club and the arms are getting disconnected from the engine. So when you do the shoulder coil to the throat, it's a bit like stretching a bow and arrow. As you stretch the drawstring, you get to a point that you can't go any further. Or if you had a catapult, an elastic catapult, you would stretch the elastic until it went white. You know that in a millimetre it would break. So the rotational loading of the golf swing is the thing that slows you down to a stop. Okay? So just watch that again. The left shoulder ignites the backswing, and as I coil to my throat, that's what slows me to a stop. There's no bouncing. I don't want to separate, and so on. So that's the first thing. Is the entire journey rhythmical and smooth, and does it come to a standstill of its own accord? Okay, so you can take the pause drill, load, no bouncing, now go. So you can see the power was still there. I didn't do a great job of that shot, so I'll hit you another shot. So here's the preparation, here's the coil. No bounce, now go. And you can see that I flashed the second one, okay? So that's one of a number of checkpoints. You can coil to a standstill without bouncing. So, let's do it again. Load the shoulder to a stop. Now what we can check is that the hips have turned and the knees have rotated a small amount. I wouldn't expect to see the right knee straight and sitting not on the edge of the left shoe. So when I do the pause drill, I can check that I'm coiling against resistance of my right shoe, and yet my hips and tummy have coiled and my right knee has stayed flexed. So again, if the shoulder coil is effective, the way that your hips, torso, legs, knees and feet work are a given, but it's good to check them occasionally. So you can just check and say, where's the weight feel to be? And at the top is mildly favouring the right foot. If it's all on the right foot, you've probably got some lateral movement. Okay, what's the next thing to check? Well, one of the biggest failures in the golf swing is people have bent left arms. Now the left arm has two roles. It's a lever and it's a spoke. And nobody wants a rubber lever or a rubber spoke. They wouldn't work. We want a constant spoke. But when a pupil is aware that the left arm is bent, if they try to keep it straight, it's the worst thing you could do. It's like putting water on a chip pan fire. It makes it worse. Okay? If the left arm is bending the backswing, it's because the wrists haven't hinged in sympathy with the shoulder turn. So, if I cock my wrist and turn my shoulder, my left arm stays intact. Can you see that? Wrist cock and shoulder, there's no need for left to bend. If there's no wrist hinge, it will bend. Or if there's wrist hinge and no shoulder turn, it will bend. So when you do the pause drill, you can again check. So I'm going to load deliberately, load the shoulder to the throat. You can see I can check. There's 90 degrees angle between the shaft and my forearm. My wrists are cocked nicely. My left arm is in line. Okay, so here we go. Here's the pause drill. I'm loading the shoulder. As the shoulder loads, very subtly the wrist hinge. I'm 90 shoulder, 90 wrist with a left arm that's in line. I can now release. So, you can see there's lots of things that you can check at the top of the backswing, but it's not something that you want to worry about when you're playing itself. The point being is if I load the shoulder to my throat, I will be in a good position. I could try to be in a good position, and that doesn't necessarily guarantee function. But when the shoulder loads and the 15 things kick in, that makes you functional. Okay, it's function over form. You can work on your technique, you can work on your positions, it won't necessarily guarantee you success. But what I can tell you is, if your body moves in a functional manner, that is what leads to successful shot making. Work on the shot, don't worry about the positions.